Hello there, YouTube. Welcome to a a rainy. I think it started out at 42 degrees. It's 48 degrees now. It is Friday, the 30th of January, and it's supposed to get nice. So it says. So the rain's not supposed to go all day. That'd be nice. Driving home in that pouring down rain like last night. Then something about the bad weather makes the drivers go absolutely nuts. It just makes no sense to me. I know, like we were saying last night, it gets a nice, beautiful day. Everybody's nice and calm and cordial, and I have no idea. The psyche of people just makes no sense. How there's just not crashes everywhere, I have no idea. When it's pouring down rain, they're zipping and zinging and hydroplaning and just, I don't know. There's no understanding it. Oh man. Boo-hooing, right? Alright. It's Friday. Let's get to work. Get that over with and start a weekend. Almighty. 47 degrees and off and on rain. Didn't rain the whole time. The freeway was even dry for a little bit. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it was you got some very religious jeans on there, Mama.
I know. Okay.
That's cool. It's funny, you pay for that.
I know it. Yeah. I just need to hold on to old wretched jeans.
Yeah.
Save me money.
Build your own.
Mm-hmm.
Make your jeans a craft project.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Well, Mama, it's Friday.
Yay.
Let's go on in there and get her done and get the weekend started.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
All right, Mama. Love to see you. Bye.
I love you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
So before I get to ripping on this thing, had someone asking about, he said he's finding drips on the ground on his Spyder RT, and he's wondering if it could be the coolant bottle. Well, I'll give you guys a couple of quick things. If you ever come across this, look from the bottom up around the bottle. You'll see a little metal brace up there that holds the bottle. Look around that. It's because the seam is right around there where it's being held in the frame up here. Can get a good view of it. You can see the little push pin that holds it, but it's usually leaking around there. So look for any wetness around there, and it usually drips down and it ends up down here on the right front A-arms. If it's an overflow, the overflow tube comes down and it's sitting right there. It's just right of center, and it's pretty much lined up with the axle. Of course, your tub's out here, so but there's the weep hose, and you can actually see this framework underneath here. So just look, you'll see the hose sticking out. They all stick out. If not, it should be. And if it's not, you can actually, you gotta do some fiddling because the horn's in the way, but you can grab that hose and stick it through there. One other thing you can do is follow this lower hose, and it takes you directly to the water pump. This whole housing's the water pump. There's no serviceable parts on this water pump, but for some reason it was F3s more than anything else. But we've replaced quite a few water pumps, not because they failed, because they're leaking. So, and I think it was, there might be an RT in there. For some reason it was F3s, and it was leaking between the housings, and none of that. You have to buy the whole water pump. And if you get the water pump, make sure you get all the Oetiker clamp hoses. There's one worm gear hose. Man, I'm worried about all these wires in here. There's one worm gear hose there, but the rest of them are Oetiker. And make sure you get the one that attaches to the bottle, because it's easier to just take that hose all the way out. It's kind of tricky to get her out of there. She's shoehorned in there pretty good. One of the things you can do is disconnect everything over here and unbolt this lateral support. You don't have to disconnect the parking brake cable or anything like that. Just loosen all this, and I'll just leave one in here to pivot on, and take the two that are up front that are kind of buried right now, but there's two 13 millimeter headed bolts. They're 8 by 1.5 thread pitch, but anyway, it's 13 millimeter, and just swing the lateral support. It's kind of tricky getting it because this also holds the fairing. You might have to take both of those out. I might be thinking of the older Spyders, but just move it away that you can get to the screws that are inside there. And if you're really crafty, with swivel heads and stuff, you can get in there and get it out. But you may cuss at it a little bit. But I forgot about those coolant bottle things. It seems like we had a little rash of those things last year, maybe a little bit the year before, but yeah, I think it was last year, just all of a sudden. Yeah, last year. Because remember, I was wondering if I could even get the thing out of there, and there was no instructions for replacing that bottle unless you take the fairing off, which I'm telling you, that's not something you want to do if at all possible. You can move some things around underneath here and squeak that bottle out. You may have to knock some zip ties and stuff out of the way, but you can get it out of there. You will. It's not fun, but that's a whole lot cheaper than it being a water pump, and a whole lot less work as well. I don't know what the bottle costs, but it can't be much. Who knows? Never say something can't be much with a motorcycle. Well, with any vehicle for that matter. But anyway, a little tech tip if you run across that. Usually, if it's weeping out of the overflow hose, and this gentleman said he did not. Well, I assume it's a gentleman. It's a username that guy or gal. You get overheat warnings, and he says he's not getting any overheat warnings, which is a sign it's probably the bottle or the water pump. And the water pump, if it gets excessive, you end up getting air in there. The water pump or the reservoir, because it's a pressured bottle. This cap on the top is your radiator cap. It's under pressure, so the unit's running without the proper amount of pressure, but there's enough pressure that I don't think anybody's that I recall has had a overheat warning with the bottle leaking. It just weeps, and it's just because it's under pressure, and I don't know if it's not glued correctly or what, but you put another bottle on it never happens again. So I don't know, but start the day off with a tech tip. I need to get busted on this thing. This boy wants his ride back. So, great news about this. There's only 2 wires that go into the fairing. Whoops. And they just unplug. And all this will just stay with the chassis. I'm in the process of disarming all this to get it off. So, and this is all the stuff going every which way. These are for his other lights, and this actually goes around, and it's just these are jumpers. I've seen these from other companies that tap into that power source that BRP supplies there. So I haven't dug in here deep, but I'm sure this has got, whoa, she's got multiple stuff, but I just need the 2 that are going up, and I wonder why there's 2 wires going into the turn signal area. It must be doing something somewhere else too, but yeah, they're in that group, and that's all going to stay with the chassis, and the whole fairing comes off, because I got to get the air box off. This is why I'm going ooh and ah, because where is that going? Looks like it's loose enough. I should be able to, because I got to get the air box off to get spark plugs out. And I'm assuming that this stuff going in the back, because he's got a bunch of lights and stuff back here. This thing actually lights up really nice. Yeah, it's quite bright and kind of cool the way it outlines the thing there. But I'll tidy this stuff up a little bit, because this stuff rubbing can chafe, and it appears to be pretty strong wire, but still I'll make it tighter. And anyway, the oil and stuff's all done. These 2 pans, both, I don't know what that, couple quarts. What does it say over there? Yeah, 2 quarts, just shy of 2. I think the other one might have, excuse me, a little bit more. Most of it came out of that HCM filter, but filter and all that stuff done. And anyway, just plugging away. I turned the light off here. Had to take a break here to no, I got the light on. Man, these are, we're just using a inventory folder for bikes. That's some thick paperwork. You gotta read carefully and sign. These are the waivers for Harley-Davidson for riding any of their motorcycles, which is a typical thing. And I'm sure I'll have that stuff from BR. I know I'll have that stuff from BRP as well. We did all that when we went to Canada and had tons of forms. Companies got to protect themselves. Are you all the way in? You almost don't look like you're all the way in there. Let's throw a light again at it. Oh, it's just barely in there. Those things are such a pain to get in. I mean, especially when you're working, from a tub hole, But yeah, all looking good. Got some of that done, and anyway, gotta keep trucking along on her here. Get her done. I'll pop out or pop back when I get the fairing off right quick. And that's not too from where I'm at now. I gotta take some stuff out of the center console and these couplers here. And man, some of the worst to get off is this module. I forget exactly what it is, but there's two couplers back there. There's well, you can only see the gray one. There's a black one below it. But to get your finger in there and release that thing and get it to back off, it's yeah, that's where some choice words come out. But it'll work. And I was in the process of releasing the ECM over here. Just didn't get finished. Yeah, let me get it with both hands here. But anyway, release all that stuff, and these can just stay right on the bike. And a bunch of bolts and thingy bobs you gotta release, because when you lock the steering, it locks the glove box, so that's got its own cable. You gotta get that out of the way. And then this, you need to feed that out of the way, because if you don't, when you lift the fairing, this sticks to the ignition switch. The ignition switch is bolted to the frame, so you'll get a surprise. You don't want any surprises while you're dangling this thing, and you don't have other people to help you out. Sorry about the weird thing. That light can make some weird white balance stuff. But yeah, just straightforward. Just gotta go steady at it. Had a customer come talk to me for a bit. I always get something that sidetracks me, That's part of my other pay, I guess you can say, is talking with customers and keeping the customers happy. But man, when it's really busy in the summer, you just don't even have time for that. But you gotta give that time and sit there with a smile on your face, while in the back of your head you're panicking, especially when someone comes down here and I'm working on a customer weight. They are trying to avoid giving me customer weights, but it happens. And I have a customer weight on a Spyder on Monday, and I'm not going to finish this until Monday, so I'm going to have to take a quick interruption. I think it's just an oil change. And you're going to see a round man rolling on the ground down there, changing oil on a Spyder on the ground. It's just, I can clear the table off, but I got all the stuff for the red rock sitting on the floor, stuff for this all nicely tucked so that, nothing happens to it. And then I'm going to have a fairing down here. So, yeah, I'm just going to have to work on the floor. And, I could go up and he's probably got something on his rack, but the other technician that works on Spyder is not going to be here Monday. Really depending on all what we're doing, I actually could do that. And I'm gonna bring those forms up there because it's not raining at the moment, and have Kelly take those out at night, because I kind of run through with all my stuff and lock everything up and just kind of have a whole bunch of stuff in my hand. So anyway, just touching bases with you. Got the forms all filled out, scanned, sent it back to my contact at Harley. I had to email and ask. I said, do you want me to scan these things back, or do I need to bring them? Because they said it needs to have a wet signature. You can't just, e-sign it or anything like that. And so I asked, do I need to bring them with me? So you have them, literally wet ink, dried wet ink, or can I scan it to you? She goes, can't scan it to me, please. So off they went. All good. Man, as it's getting closer, it's getting exciting. Really exciting. And what's crazy is when we're done with that, it's less than a month. We're going to Ireland. And somewhere in the middle of all this, I don't know when it's going to happen. I did get asked to verify, all my personal information, all my work information. I'm assuming, whatever they're sending me will land here at the store. Hopefully they'll notify the powers that be, because if something shows up, somebody's going to grab a forklift and go to put that thing together. And wait, I don't know if it's going to come. It may be a fleet bike that's already together. I just have no idea. I don't know if it's going to come, in a box and it needs to be assembled. Just don't know. These are details I don't know. But man, what an exciting year. Just keeps getting more exciting. Man. Kelly's going, this flu bug and stuff's going around. Man, I hope we don't at the last second and get sick and miss one of these events, I said, man, don't even talk about that. So, we're using our hand sanitizer and staying away from people. You're always shaking hands. You shake hands and just don't touch your face or anything. Sanitize your hands. And don't, be face to face to them, kind of keep a distance when you're talking. That's not going to save you if they got the flu, but you can tell when somebody's sick, and that's when they're the most contagious. But, contagious people can run through, pay for some spark plugs and roll out and, touch the counter or touch the door handle, whatever, You know how that stuff goes. You can go in a heartbeat, and next thing you know, you're down and out. But, this is the forms we fill out, these are basically used vehicle. They used to say literally used vehicle, but they just made it just a generic thing. But you can see it's all the different stuff you can put in for if you got a trade in, and for new units, all the stock number and all the pertinent information that goes in massive file cabinets. You think, you look out there and you see all the motorcycles we have, you ought to look in those file cabinets. And you see it all together. And it's do we really have that many vehicles here? It's frightening. And they keep coming in. When the season kicks, we are ready. Man, we're more than ready. In many ways, we're all at times going, where's the people? But this is that time of year. It's just, this is always like this. the nice thing is we're getting a lot of phone calls, and you know, I see when people leave messages, because I'm part of a service group email thing, so when you start seeing all this activity going on, that's really nice, and you're like, whew. Anyway, I gotta get back on this Spyder. I'm sitting here jaw jacking with Joe. Sorry I didn't sign out for anything. Had another customer tied me up, got me way behind. But anyway, working along on the Spyder. It's not raining at the moment. Good Lord, we're a quarter after. That's late for me to come out, especially on a Friday. Kelly and I are going to go home. But anyway, we'll see you at home. Well, hello there, you two. Made it home. It was dry. The moon was out, coming up the hill. It's glistening off the damp road, and there's Madison turned the light on for us. Somebody's got to come along.
Yeah.
But it was a fun day. Yeah, it was. It was a good day.
It was a good day.
I was busy doing stuff with a lot of stuff, customers and stuff beyond the bike I'm trying to get done. But it all worked out well. Got the wiring. Thankfully, the guy did it in a way that I could unplug them. Sorry, I got a message popping on my screen, and so that was nice. A little tricky, but I mean, not a problem. I was thinking, oh no, what do I got here? It was like no problem. Nice having couplers for it. I remember Ryan doing a Spyder years ago that he had to cut. I mean, someone hardwired all the lights in there, had to cut them all and resolder everything back together. That was a mess.
That'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, he cussed that thing for a while.
I bet.
But the end of the day is here. The weekend has begun. We've landed in our driveway. Weekend starts now.
Yes.
I think we're gonna roll it down.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, and you guys have an amazing Saturday or Sunday.
Thank you. You have no idea how.
Yeah.
That light's about to just go. Whoop.
I know it. He's trying to hold on to it.
I got a death grip on it. And it's just slipping. Just kind of going.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching now.
We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.